Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie.
It is Whiskey in the Van Wednesday, and she's my plus one today because we were trying something special.
A bourbon that's older than Norman.
Once again, we are not in the van. It's ice cold outside. There's a lot of snow outside. I'm not going out there.
No, it looks real pretty though.
It looks great, but we want to actually smell and taste these things, and having stuffy noses and being stuck out in the cold is not a way to do that. So
And then we gotta get a heater.
we got to get a lot of things. This, for all we know, this could be a heater. This is a Elijah Craig 18-year-old single barrel product. Pretty rare.
And really pretty.
It's a beautiful bottle.
It's a beautiful bottle. I like the difference between the barrel proofs and the small batches. I like the rounded corners. It's got a really nice cork.
Yeah, the topper is cool. It's got that gold inlay with the Elijah Craig signature.
I love
the
it.
Beautiful wood around the top.
And
It's
I'm
a
gonna
lovely
say,
display.
like, if you're getting an 18-year-old, it should look a little bit more elegant.
So this was bottled December 19, 2019. That means this was in the barrel in late fall at the very earliest of 2001.
I was in college.
That's crazy.
That's crazy how old we're getting.
I don't even remember what was happening in my life in 2001. That's wild. 90 proof, sort of underpowered.
Oh, it's only
feel
90
like.
proof?
It's pretty low proof.
Ooh.
I don't know if they do that because of how much aggressive flavor would be in there if they left the proof higher after 18 years. $130.
Yeah.
Looks great. It's an opportunity to try something really old.
Yeah.
And it is a single barrel product, which is really cool. So no matter what you get here, they're hard to find and the whiskey inside is rare. You're gonna try something pretty unique, pretty special. So I'm really excited to get into this, and we can talk about some of the feelings that people have toward this bottle when we're tasting it, but the value and all that sort of thing. I think we should just pop into it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let's see what an 18-year aged cork pop sounds like.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit thrown by the fact that it's only 90 proof. I'm a little bit like, oh, I might like this one.
The thing about this bottle is the little tag that was hanging around the neck when we bought it, it said that it's the perfect bottle for collectors. And I wonder if that's the thing that they're looking for rich people with too much money to buy something that's easy to sip.
Oh yeah, so we're like the perfect
How we wound up with this bottle. It's almost not worth talking about.
All right, let's get into that.
Let's do it.
Let's get into that cork. That's a little squeaky. You know, I always like a good loud.
That was a disappointing pop. This bottle is a little bit polarizing. One of the reasons is because of the single barrel nature and the fact that it's so old. The variance between single barrels of any kind of bourbon can be pretty widespread. These single barrels can be super different. Some people say that the oak tannins become overwhelming in a bottle this old. Some people say that the flavors are really muddy, or that there's not as much there because of the 90 proof, or whatever it might be. This is the type of bottle that people say buy at your own risk, because you could get a great barrel, you could get a less great barrel. They do hand select them. You expect that they're going to put their best foot forward because this is sort of a flagship product. You know, this is a premier product for them. You're expecting greatness. Let's see what we find in our bottle.
I am getting hung up a little bit on that 90 proof, and it does look a little thin, not as dark as I would think for an 18-year-old.
They've proofed it down. It's thinner in every respect. You're absolutely right. There's an interesting nose on it. Immediately, it strikes me that this is a very complex profile. There's a spiciness there, but it's almost muted the way that sort of like those older bourbons can be muted. And this, it's not like rye spice or something super hot like pepper. It's more like an orange zest or something like that.
Yeah. It does have a really desserty nose to it. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm usually the one that throws out weird tasty notes. But there's almost like a thickness in the smell. There's a lot of flavors, but you can tell that it's gonna.
I would say richness, but I like the thickness.
Yeah, but
it smells thick.
But there is like a thickness, kind of like a pudding or something, like a flavored, spicy pudding.
Yeah, there's something to that. There's like there's also sort of a heavy vanilla here. It's almost like the vanilla pudding, vanilla custard, that sort of thing. There's a little oak here. I keep bouncing back and forth. Is it sort of dark chocolate or is it toasted oak? Maybe it's both, but that's sort of a complicated thing on the nose to determine.
We let this open up just a little bit. I'm sure the more that it opens up, we'll get more and more flavors on it. I mean, that'll probably just happen while we're taking a sip, but are you ready to give it a shot?
Yeah, just a little swirl opens up. It kind of punches you in the face.
Than I am.
It's not, maybe it doesn't punch you in the face. It sort of aggressively paws. It's sort of.
It's like the grandma, like, I haven't seen you in so long.
Oh, yeah, and then they kind of squeeze too hard and you're like. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the right idea. Yeah, this is the grandma squeeze. That's what you get in this one. That's on the nose is a grandma squeeze.
That's a new tasting note. A little bit brown sugar on that. Some vanilla, I think.
Before I even give a tasting note, I just want to say that
Ooh,
I love it.
It's really good. I don't know what I was expecting on this one. I got a little thrown by that 90 proof, and I was like, well, how flavorful is this one gonna be? But I shouldn't say that because, I love all the low proof ones, but really flavorful.
But that vanilla really shows up. And the oak, of course, is an 18-year-old product, but it is so sweet. That's one more thing that we have failed to mention to this point, but bourbon doesn't continuously get better in the barrel. At some point you have to take it out. There's a sweet spot, 10, 12, maybe up to 15 years. This 18 it's super rare. I didn't expect it to be so bright, but the flavors sort of jump out. They're delicious.
It's pretty thick. Not while you're drinking it, but it lingers. The roof of my mouth, it's not really on the tongue. It's like more like the roof of my mouth. I can just kind of feel it up there.
Yeah, it's kind of getting everywhere. It's not crazy viscous, but it's just kind of a creeper. Like you invited it inside, like when you have a friend over and they come in and you're talking to them and you're hanging out in your kitchen and then they ask for your bathroom, so you send them down the hall and then 15 minutes later you find them and they've been in every room and they're just wandering around.
Oh, I was like, oh crap, where are we going with this?
That's what's happening here. Is Elijah Craig sort of, I invited it in and now it's just kind of checking everything out. Yeah, I just want to see what else is in there. It's looking behind my molars.
Yeah, it's a little bit dry or something. Like it dries off. Maybe that's what it is. Instead of like it dries off the roof of my mouth. And those initial sweet flavors, definitely that vanilla, a little bit of honey, those really kind of go away, and you just are left with this interesting finish.
I think there's tasting
having
notes.
That like.
You're frowning again.
Yeah, my frowning, like trying to think about it moment.
Tasting notes for this one though, really bright, sweet oak. Candy type vanilla, not like vanilla extract, like more sugary vanilla, caramel, maybe a hint of milk chocolate. There's a lot going on. But there's also, especially when it hits the front of your tongue, there's bright fruit there, like berries, like maybe raspberry, maybe strawberry, but bright red fruit.
There's a nice mix too, because it's not like in my opinion, a fruit forward drink at all. Like it's not like super sweet or anything like that, but you can get hints of a nice warm.
Like a compote. Maybe, yeah. Maybe
that's it. Yeah, I liked that because you can taste the little sugars. The fruits are breaking down a little bit. It adds a little goo to it, which we keep talking about, like the pudding custardiness. There goes the cat.
All right. It's cohesive. I can see why rich people would want this in their collection. It drinks easy, and I bet you could impress people with it.
I feel like normal people would like it in their collection as well.
It's
not crazy.
Confirm.
So it's not crazy overpriced. I mean, it's more than I would like to spend on a bottle of bourbon.
Let's talk about the finish real quick. A little fruit, toasted oak. The fruit kind of goes away quickly, but it's there. But the lingering finish is almost a little bit spicy. It's almost like a cinnamon spice where each sip is just a little bit of cinnamon and then it builds while you're drinking it. While you sit with the finish, first off, it lasts quite a long time, but also
it is a long laster.
It's changing.
In my opinion.
It's changing. It's not just oak. There's gentle spice there. I think it's great. It's medium bodied. It has a great finish. And I don't know if this is just the single barrel that we got or if they're all this good. It doesn't sound like it, but I was very nervous about getting this bottle because I worried that it wouldn't be worth the price. And I will say that I'm more than pleasantly surprised and more than impressed. I'm thrilled that we have this bottle. Let's talk value on this bottle. $130. For those of you doing the math, that is 6.5 Old Forester Ryes. Which is, it's hard to gauge it by any other metric because that's
6.5. Oh, yeah,
right.
Like value.
Put it in perspective that way. It's not a great value.
I will say that I think it's delicious, but I generally just don't think things should cost that much.
At one point, it doesn't seem like it was all that long ago, but it was 10 plus years now. You could get this for well under $100. The price has gone up so much in the last 10-ish years, you have to wonder how high this is going to go. We just heard that it's going to be raised again, this price, to $150-ish here in Oregon. So I'm glad we got it at $130. I won't buy it again for $130, but this was worth a shot. And if you are a collector and just want to have the bottle on your shelf, I get it. We buy bourbon to drink it. We will drink this. It's a special occasion bourbon, but It's hard to talk value. If it's worth it to you to try something that's 18 years old and you're willing to take a risk that the single barrel you get is not going to blow you away,
Yeah.
then it's a great bottle to pick up.
I wouldn't pay more than $100 for it, right? Like I definitely think it's like less than $100 bottle. I mean, and I'm not qualified to tell you that, but just off the top of my head, I just looked back and I said that Belle Meade, I don't remember what it runs for.
About 70.
Yeah, but I would take the Belle Meade Reserve
100%
of the time over this. Not taking anything away from this, it's really different. They're completely different palates on
Totally
these
different.
ones.
This doesn't even taste like regular Elijah Craig to me.
No, it doesn't.
Like small batch, not even close.
But it's unique. I can appreciate what it is. $130, $150? I mean, what else costs $150?
Nothing on our shelf.
Well, no.
You know, we've got a Booker's back here for $90, nearly 130 proof. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof.
Yeah.
Both the Tennessee whiskey and the Tennessee rye, both of those are $65 bottles. 130 proof. Yeah, they're proof bombs, so they don't really compare to this. But
Right. And
value-wise,
you're paying for the 18 years, right?
sure, you're
Basically.
paying for the 18 years. Those aren't that old. I think maybe they're 7 years old. But the thing is, we love those, and you can buy two for the price of one.
I know.
When you look at it through that lens, it makes this a really, really hard bottle to recommend based on value.
And you have to think about too, like, are you buying your bourbons as showpieces, or you're buying your bourbons to drink? I definitely appreciate the flavors. I really enjoyed this drink. I would recommend people trying it. Obviously, we don't know what barrel you're gonna get, but I'm not gonna drink this every day.
No.
Right? It's gonna be another one that's gonna sit on the shelf, and we'll have a special occasion and we'll take it out. So
Yeah, great for special occasions.
Yeah.
Great for sharing with somebody that you really like. And
like you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Beyond that, I'm not going to compare it to anything else. It doesn't taste like anything else, not really. Barrel aged for 18 years, which softens the edges very nicely. Finish is incredible.
That finish was a little bit nutty.
It's flavorful, it's complex, has a great finish, but it's $130. You got to decide for yourself if it's worth it.
Totally.
Happy we have it, but that's pretty much where the story ends for us.
And I'm happy that I got to try it. So thanks for letting me tag along on this whiskey out of the van Wednesday.
You are always welcome. Anything else you'd like to share?
Subscribe, like, comment.
Look at you did it. Like she said, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a video from us and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.